Hello dear learners, my name is teacher Ramadhani Kideghesho from Tushikamane Secondary, Morogoro Municipal. Welcome to the series of our lesson from ETETA TV. In this lesson, I will show you the correct way of answering the different questions of atomic structure, and I will use the past papers of Certificate of Secondary Education Examination of National Examination Council of Tanzania. I will start to answer the question from the past paper of CSEE Necta 2020. The question number 10. So the question number 10A says, draw diagrams to show the atomic structure of the element with atomic number 1, 10, 16, and 19. Also, the question number 10B says, element X has 20 electrons and the mass number of 40. Work out the number of each type of nucleons present. So here there are two questions which you need to attempt. We are going to attempt one question after another, starting with the question number 10A. Here in question number 10A, what is required is the atomic structure. Is the atomic structure to draw the diagram which show the atomic structure of the element with the atomic number as it is mentioned here, 1, 10, 16, and 19. To draw the atomic structure of an element, first of all, the atomic structure should comprise of an element should comprise three things. The first thing is the number of proton. The second is the number of neutrons, and the third the electrons. So here is the diagram which show the atomic structure of hydrogen. As you see here, we have the nucleus. Inside the nucleus, there is the number of proton which is equal to 1 and the number of neutron which is equal to 0, and the electron is embedded here in the shell. So this is the electron, this is the number of proton which is 1, and this is the number of neutron which is 0. Also, element with atomic number 10 is neon. Element with atomic number 10 is neon. The atomic number always gives the position of an atom in the periodic table. So the element with atomic number 10 is neon. So below is the diagram which shows the atomic structure of neon. So this one here, as you see here, inside is nucleus which comprises 10 protons and 10 neutrons. Outside the nucleus there are shells, and the shells carries electrons. The first shell carries 2 electrons, and the second shell carries 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electrons. So we have 8 electrons in the outermost shell and 2 electrons in the inner shell. So this is the atomic structure of neon. Also, the element with the atomic number 16 is sulfur. So the sulfur has atomic number of 16. So below is the diagram which shows the atomic structure of sulfur. As you see here, this is the atomic structure of sulfur. Inside the nucleus there are proton which is 16 and neutron which is 16. The first shell carries 2 electrons, the second shell carries 8 electrons, and the outermost shell or the third shell carries 6 electrons. So this is the atomic structure of sulfur. Also, we have been asked to draw the atomic structure of element with atomic number 19. So the element with atomic number 19 is potassium. And the atomic structure of potassium is this. Inside the nucleus, there are 19 proton and 20 neutron. The first shell carries 2 electrons. The second shell carries 8 electrons. The third shell carries 8 electrons, and the outermost shell, or the fourth shell, carries 1 electron. So this is the atomic structure of potassium. Now the question number 10b. Here in question number 10b says element X has 20 electrons and the mass number of 40. Work out the number of each type of nucleons present. First of all, you have to know the nucleons. The nucleons are the protons and neutrons. So what's required here is the number of protons and neutrons. I mean, the number of subatomic particles which are found inside the nucleus, which are a proton and a neutron. These are nucleons. So to answer this question, first of all, you have to write the data which you have been given. Here, you have been given the number of electrons, which is equal to 20. Also, you have been given the mass number, which is equal to 40. So what is required here is the number of nucleons, I mean the number of protons and the neutrons. Now, to determine the number of protons, number of protons always is equal to the number of electrons, and you have been already given the number of electrons, which is equal to 20. For that case, since the number of proton is equal to the number of electron, the number of proton is 20. So the number of proton here in this question is 20. Also, to determine the number of neutrons, from the formula, the neutrons is equal to mass number minus number of proton. You have already the number of proton, also you have the mass number. So for that case, to obtain the number of neutrons, you take the mass number, then you minus the number of proton, which is equal to 40 minus 20. So the number of neutron is equal to 20. The number of neutron is equal to 20. So this is how you can attempt this question, students. Another question is from the past paper of CSEA Necta 2019, the question number 9. The question number 9A says, write the chemical symbol for beryllium, boron, neon, nitrogen, and phosphorus. Write the chemical symbol for beryllium, boron, neon, nitrogen, and phosphorus. Also B say, why some of the elements in 9A are assigned the symbol with only 1 letter, while others bear symbol with 2 letters. Okay, by answering this question, let's start with the question number 9A. Here, you have been given the beryllium, boron, neon, nitrogen, and phosphorus. So the symbol of beryllium is Be. The symbol for boron is B. The symbol for neon is Ne. The symbol for nitrogen is N, and the symbol for phosphorus is P. Point to remember, if you write the symbol for element of the element, the first letter should be capital and the second letter should be small. So this is how you can write the symbol for the element which is mentioned. The second, or question number 9B, as it said, why some of the elements in 9A are assigned symbol with only 1 letter, while others bear symbol with 2 letters. Here, the reason is in order to distinguish those elements that have the same initial letters with each other. For example, if you look here, in this, you have a beryllium and boron. The symbol for beryllium is Be. The symbol for boron is B. So if you give all of them the first letter, I mean all will have the same symbol. So in order to distinguish it, the beryllium bear 2 letters while the boron bear only 1 letter. So this is the reason why some of symbol bear one letter while others bear two letters. Okay. Another question is from the past paper of CSEE Necta 2018, the question number 5 and question number 6. Here in question number 5b says element K, L, M and N have atomic numbers 6, 8, 9 and 20 respectively. Classify each element into its respective periods and group. So what is required here is to classify these elements into its respective periods and group. The question number 6a says, give one example in each of the following. So here you have been given the alkali earth metal, also the noble gases, also the transition element. What is required here is one example for each. Answer for question number 5b. Here the element is KLMN. The atomic number for element K is 6, L is 8, M is 9, and N is 20. So what's required here is the number of group and the period. And always to know the number of group and the period, you can know by using a electronic configuration. The number of shells is equal to the number of period, and the number of electrons in the outermost shell is equal to the number of group. So for that case, for element K, which has an atomic number of 6, the electronic configuration is 2 and 4, and the number of electrons which is present in the outermost shell is 4. So for that case, element K belongs in group 4, and the number of shells is 2, so it belongs to group 2, to period 2. Element L has atomic number of 8, so the electronic configuration for element L is 2, 6. So the number of electrons present in outermost shell is 6, and for that case the number of group here is 6, and the number of shell of element L is 1, 2, so it belongs to period 2. Another element is element M, and the atomic number of element M is 9. So the electronic configuration for element M is 2, 7. For that case, the group of element M is 7 and the period is 2. The last element is element N, and the atomic number for element N is 20. So the electronic configuration of element N is 2, 8, 82. So the number of electrons in the outermost shell is 2. For that case, the element N belongs to group 2. And the number of shells here is 1, 2, 3, 4. For that case, element N belongs to period 4. Okay. Question number 6a. What's required here is one example for each of the alkali earth metal, noble gas and transition elements. So alkali earth metal, one example for alkali earth metal is magnesium. For noble gas is neon, and transition element is iron. So these are examples of alkali earth metal, noble gas and transition element. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for watching this video. You were with me, teacher Ramadhani Kideghesho.